Good day, everyone. It is 30 November. So what I want to talk about a little tonight is something that actually infuriates me quite a bit, but I'll do it with diplomacy. And that is the state of music today in general, the music industry. Now, when I make this video, I am not trying to imply that there's not good musicians out there, because there's some very fine musicians, very fine, all over the place. Unfortunately, those aren't the ones that usually become the ones you see in mainstream media or are popular or anything of that nature. There's a lot of good musicians that play behind the scenes, a lot of studio musicians that are the backbone of a lot of the albums that you hear that will never get any accolades. And just, they do their job. They're very, very good. They're the reason why a lot of these stars become stars. They play the music in their studios. Okay? They're the reason, they're the driving force. What's happened in music over the last 20 odd years, 25 years, whatever, is that music has become much like society. It's all about the bottom line, which is making money, popularity, impressions. Part of it wants to be woke, all that stuff. Everything you see that's affected sports, infected politics, infected a lot of things in this country, has infected music. And I can say as a musician, as a lifelong musician, it is not for the better. Now, I am a lifelong musician. I am a decent musician. I can create music. I can play a couple instruments, specifically the keyboards. I'm not the best. I don't claim to be, but I'm a veteran musician. I can do a lot of different things. What I am is real. When I played in bands years ago, original bands, cover bands, whatever. And of course now I just play by myself. Everything is real. Nothing's fake. Nothing's fabricated. Nothing ever will be. But that's the era I grew up in. When you played for real. When you played live, you played for real. Nowadays, things are very different, and it's very frustrating to see. Two things really frustrate me as a musician, as a veteran musician. That being auto-tune, okay? That is the number one thing that frustrates me, auto-tune, and lip-syncing. Now, there was a time when you get caught doing these things. Well, auto-tune wasn't always around anyways, but lip-syncing, something. Now, obviously, music videos in the 80s, you lip-sync those things, because those aren't live. They're basically acting out a video toward your music. Sometimes the videos are in the desert or different areas. Obviously, you can't be playing live. Common sense. That's different. That's meant to be, it's theatrical. So there's an art to that, actually. There's an artisticness. If you have some videos are very imaginative, some were just live shots of people in concert. You weren't actually hearing that in the music video. You're hearing the recorded one in the studio, but you're seeing them play live shots. But some were actually like, some bands, Men at Work, and different people had comical videos, things that actually told a story. They were kind of funny. Lionel Richie, the Hello video, actually told a story. And that's artistic in its own way. But when it comes to forming and pretending to be real, and you're faking it, and then people are paying money to see you fake it, like a lot of people are doing today, is really, really drives on a nerve as a musician. In 1991, I believe it was 1991, Milli Vanilli, some of you who are older and understand who they were a duo that came out and had this pop. They had very popular. They got all kinds of awards. Well, they were found out shortly afterwards that they were not doing their own stuff and they were lip syncing, especially when they did things live and stuff. And they were Tally awards were stripped from them. And they were very much put into embarrassment. They were hammered down. There's no doubt. There was no mercy on them. They even made a couple of advertisements later on trying to make money, mocking themselves in the advertisement, trying to be funny. But it really hurt. It really affected both of them. One, it affected so bad that he unfortunately took his life. Part of it was the embarrassment. He couldn't deal with it, the embarrassment. But nowadays, lip syncing and faking it is a commonplace thing. back then there was still integrity. And so when somebody caught doing it, it didn't fly. Nowadays, I mean, singers sometimes lie. They're not even singing. They've caught Garth Brooks doing it. Kiss has been caught recently doing it for a while. Kiss never did that in days back, but they're old. They can't sing like they used to at all. They used to. Paul Stanley actually had a decent voice, whether you like Kiss or not. There was a point in time when he had, for 18 months, he was in Toronto, Canada. He was the Phantom in Phantom of the Opera. That's right. You went to Toronto, 1999 to 2000, I believe it was. For 18 months, he did not play with Kiss. He was the Phantom of the Opera when you went to see that play. You can't do that unless you have something on the ball. And he trained a little more, got his voice naturally better. But that was over 20 years ago. He can't do anything. He can't sing much anymore. And so then there's been caught doing backing their old tracks, and his voice, his face is off the microphone. You hear somebody singing. And people are paying money for just fakery. And of course, a lot of these pop singers, a lot of them female, but not only, they're either over-the-hill ones. Mariah Carey recently did lip-syncing. There's so much of it. In auto-tune, I mean, Katy Perry has used auto-tune. So many others, too. I mean, Taylor Swift. Live, some of these people can't cut the mustard at all. Just faking, ways of faking, and people paying buku money to see fakery. And what kills me is say, well, what do you care? Well, personally, I don't, because it's not going to affect me in either way. But as a musician, I appreciate the art of music. Okay, the art. Playing music is an art, just like the theater, painting. It's an art. That's why you have a classical music. It's so great as art. It'll last forever. Great jazz lasts. I believe classic rock will last. But all this pop stuff nowadays, I don't think there's any lasting, because it's not real. Okay, it's modern technology which is advanced to the point where you can almost make anybody sound somewhat decent in a studio, and even live. A lot of auto-tune backing tracks, all kinds of stuff that's fake. I mean, yes, their backing tracks have always been used for a long time, a lot of times to make it full. That's fine, but you're still doing your own singing and playing for real. You're still doing stuff for real. But now it's different. A lot of times people aren't even singing in the tracks they're doing. That's a difference. I remember several years back when I was putting some original tracks down, one of my friends, musicians, guy that I met, I was playing, and I didn't like the way it sounded. It was a keyboard riff. He goes, don't worry about it. I'll just fix it with auto-tune. I was like, no, you won't. I'm going to play it again. I'm going to play, what you're going to hear is what I'm playing. Not something, you don't like the way it is, and to change notes on a computer to make it sound better. Anybody can do that. You can almost, think about it, technically you could create music without somebody playing it. It's ridiculous. I mean, no. But that's what today's music is. It's very, 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 the integrity is lost. I mean, a couple of comments. Let me see, Queen singer. Remember Queen? Freddie Mercury? Okay, well known. Queen was a good band. They weren't one of my favorites. I didn't like them as much as a lot of other people, but nevertheless, I recognize their talent. Freddie Mercury once said that there will come a time when music will lose its soul. It already has. He was 100% correct. Barbra Streisand, several years ago, made a comment about Ariana Grande, saying she sounded like a mouse. It certainly wasn't to compliment her. Now, she wound up having to apologize because the politically correct police wanted to smash her down. But my point is, why do you have to apologize for the truth? Ariana Grande can't sing very well, especially live. Period, end. Okay? And Barbra Streisand is one of the most respected non-opera female singers. I say one of the best ever. Opera singers, obviously, from singing, are the best as far as quality. But non-opera singers, Barbra Streisand is well respected. Played with symphony, sang with symphony orchestras, sang all the standard tunes throughout the ages. There was actually a great piano player that I knew that's long past. but I grew up, I knew this man. He had a whole show that he used to put on piano, and he used to, one of the shows was a girl named Barbara, and he would actually do all her songs on the piano. That's how much he respected her. My point is, why should you apologize for the truth? This is a great artist, a true singer, Barbra Streisand, who's calling out a pop singer who's a phony, who has very little talent, and saying it. Probably frustrated, probably hurt her, probably just knowing what it took to do what she does, and others like her of that time. Ella Fitzgerald, you know, there's great singers, Doris Day. These are all great singers in the time. And then, you know, even Celine Dion, a great singer. And then seeing this, what's passing for pop singers nowadays, I don't blame her getting upset. But she apologized. I guarantee you it wasn't because she wanted to. Because she probably was told, you better do something, because that's going to cost too many waves and people upset and record labels, whatever. But the bottom line is, that's my talk for the night. Hey, look, it is what it is. I'm not going to change anything. It's not going to affect my life anyway. I'm not looking to make no big crash on music at this point in my life. I like what I'm doing and just enjoying myself playing. But as an artist, it's sad that it's become about the money and about the image. American Idol was very instrumental in that. I'm not saying there were some singers that didn't come out from American Idol that were good, because there were. But by and large, it's an image-based. You can have a great voice and they don't have an image, and they're not going to want you. It's based first on image. That's not art. That's not what music is about. It was never about an image first, show first. It's about the music first. And we've lost that in today's music. It's not about the music first. It's about making money. It's about empires making money. Okay? All the way down from the artist down to their whole team making money. It started a lot in the early 90s. You had these boy bands with absolutely no talent. They would come, some of them would actually come out. If you saw the special on them, I don't know if it was New Kids in the Block or one of those. I don't know. So I'm not going to try to say the exact people, but they came out. The band was already conceptualized, the band. It's a group of kids. It's not a band. They don't play any music. They sing together, right? Or sing. So this group has already had a concept. They've already got a time when they want this group to come out, like, say, 8 months from now. Now they have to find, everything's asked backwards. They have to find kids that fit an image and then teach them how to sing so they'll be ready. How can you sing really teaching 6 to 8 months? You can't. It's like trying to teach somebody to play the piano 6 to 8 months that's never played. You're not going to be good. You're going to pass at best. Play a few things, just like singing. You're not going to be a great singer if you've never sang in 6 to 8 months. So they find a bunch, they have a conceptualized group, they have a date, they have songs already created for this group. Now they have to find handsome boys, whatever, to fit this image and teach them how to sing. What? That's laughable. That's not art. That's a project. You have a project, a marketing project, and you're just finding pieces to put in there so you can market this product to make all kinds of money. That's what this is about. And that's what started all these bands, these projected boy bands. It wasn't based on bands like before that. You used to sit there and you'd have to go through all the circuits and play all the low class clubs before you get recognized. That's art. Okay? And that's how a lot of bands, they had to sit there and eat ramen noodles and put their time in, not just be created because of a marketing project. But that's music nowadays, and it's really blossomed. You see so many pop singers, even a lot of country singers are all generic. I'm not saying that some of them are very good, but a lot of them it's just a marketing project nowadays. Put a project out there. Get a generic sound. A lot of songs sound all the same. A lot of these pop singers, they literally sound all the same. Most of the pop singers are not even writing these songs anymore. Taylor Swift, they don't write their own songs, a lot of them. Somebody writes this material for them, done in a studio, and it's just punch out hit after hit, put it on the radio, make a lot of money, and just go from there. that's my talk for the day. It's very frustrating when you come from an era where I've always worked with true musicians, all the way from studied in jazz piano player, and that was fantastic. He's passed, of course, now. Fantastic. My first teacher was a lady. I was like 6 years old, classical piano. She was fantastic. Passed, of course. And these are all true musicians and people I worked with in the '80s and classic bands. These guys were really good, guitar players and very good players. No fakery. Oh, you had gadgets and things and echoes and delays and things that make the music, but not fakery. Everybody played all the time because you wanted to. Nobody would want to lip sync. Nobody would want to fake it. We had no desire to do that because we loved music. And therefore we want people to see your art, your talent, not fake it so you can sit there and pretend you're something and make a buck. Whatever. It is what it is. It's Rick here. 30 November. I hope you enjoyed the talk. Again, I'm not upset at anything. It is what it is. I just don't like the state of the music industry. And if you're an old timer like me, who's played for a long time, you understand. And it is what it is. It's probably not going to get any better. You just got to deal with it and just enjoy what I do and go from there and just enjoy music for the sake of music. It's Rick here. I love you. Have a great day.